When November hits, temperatures drop and roller coasters close across most of the country. But don't worry, we have something that might be able to save you. We've compiled our top 10 amusement parks that are open year-round. Now, before we get into this list completely, we'll go over exactly how we compiled this list. Now, for starters, we haven't been to all of these. Out of these 10, we've been to 6 of them.
Yeah, so we've been to most, but not all of them.
Yeah, but we just kind of took what we know about the parks, and you'll see, like, the parks, there's a lot of knowledge about them. So we were able to guess and stuff like that. And we went by how, like, we didn't have a specific criteria, but we went by how good these parks are to visit during the winter.
Yeah, so you could have a really good park, but if none of the stuff is open during the winter, then it'll drop for us.
Yeah, so we took ride availability and also
like how often they're open.
Yeah, also like the days of the week.
If they're only open like one day a week, then that's not that good.
Yeah, that's not a very good park to visit during the winter. A few honorable mentions. There are a few indoor parks, and we did not add any of these to our list, not because they're indoor parks, but just because we didn't feel like they made the top 10.
Yeah.
But there's Adventure Dome at Circus Circus in Las Vegas. They have 2 roller coasters. I mean, it's definitely something that you can go to. And then there's the 2 Nickelodeon Universe parks in the Mall of America in Minnesota and
American Dream. American Dream in New Jersey. So those parks, they're good, but they didn't quite make the top 10 list.
Number 10 is SeaWorld San Diego. San Diego is known for perfect weather, 70 to 80 degrees pretty much all year round. This park is open 365 days a year. I don't know if they close like some one or 2 random days, but they're open 7 days a week, like pretty much all the time. We've never been to this park.
No.
But we know a little bit about it. They got a few coasters.
Yeah, they got a few coasters, like Emperor they just added, which is a big B&M dive coaster. Like, they are investing in the park a little bit. They are getting some new stuff, which is good.
Now moving on to number 9, we have Busch Gardens Williamsburg.
Now this is the park we have visited, but we didn't go in the winter. And Busch Gardens Williamsburg, they don't have all of their coasters open in the winter, so that's what drops it. They have quite a few, but not all of them.
And they have limited operations. They only run, I think, on Saturdays and Sundays. I can't remember if they have Fridays in there as well. But the limited operations plus like their main roller coaster Pantheon being closed, and I think Tempesto, I think there's a couple rides closed. But still like an amazing park.
Yeah, Busch Gardens
beautiful park
is one of my favorite parks. I absolutely love it. So even if there's a few coasters that are closed, it'll still be a really nice park to visit.
Okay, next up on the list, number 8. Now, this is a Disney park. This is Disney California. Now, I want to clarify something. The Disney parks, I know that like in Orlando, there are 4 different parks.
Yeah.
We lumped them all together.
They're all different, but since we haven't been to any Disney parks, we just lumped them together because it was too hard to like find out which one should go where and all that stuff.
And also, like, that would take up like if any
it
of
would
them
take
started
up like
making,
the whole list. We don't want Disney to take up the whole list.
Yeah, like you can buy like Disney Orlando if that makes our list. I don't know. We're not going to give any spoilers. But if that like you can buy a park hopper and hit all 4 of their parks or whatever. But
anyways,
number 8, Disney California.
It's definitely not as nice as the one in Orlando, but they still got like Incredicoaster and some decent stuff there.
And they're open 365 days a year, so just Southern California, beautiful weather, and very touristy area, so we figured that fit into our top 10.
Number 7 is Universal Studios Hollywood, also in Los Angeles, California. Now, this is the lesser known of the 2 Universal parks. The one in Orlando is quite a bit better. We haven't been to this one, but it's still, I know, a really good park. It's a Universal park, so it is really good, excellent theming.
And they just got that new Nintendo.
Yeah, they just got a huge new Nintendo area, so with like a Mario Kart ride and stuff, which would be amazing. And that alone just looks really cool. So we put it pretty high just for that.
Yeah, number 7.
And they are getting a new coaster soon that looks really good, Hollywood Drift.
Yeah, once that gets that, it's going to boost that.
Yeah, because they don't have many coasters like at all, or like any coasters.
And they don't have that premier coaster, so we had to keep it a little bit down on the list. Next up at number 6, now we debated number 6, 5, 4. Like as soon as we got
all
in
these
this
parks
area,
are very close.
Yeah,
they're all excellent.
So you can kind of interchange some of these. This is what we landed on. So this is our order. You guys can argue down in the comments section whether you agree with this or not. But number 6, we have SeaWorld Orlando. We have been to this park. We have been to this park in February whenever we went.
So yeah, it was during the winter, full operations, everything is open, and it is a nice park.
They keep adding new coasters like almost every year.
Every year. You got the Penguin coaster that I cannot remember the name of ever.
Penguin Trek.
Penguin Trek. You got the Surf Coat Pipeline. You got Pipeline last year. Icebreaker.
This year. Or this 2023 was Pipeline, yeah.
So you got all these new coasters along with some really good older coasters, even though, I mean, they've been investing in the park very recently, like Mako, Manta. They have some excellent coasters there.
And they belong high on the list because not only the coasters, but they don't really have any, they don't limit operations with coasters or as far as their operating days.
You can go in July or February. It'll all be the same. Everything will still be open, which is great.
Number 5, we have Six Flags Magic Mountain in Valencia, California. Now, one of the things that made us think that maybe this park wouldn't, like we were debating on dropping it a little bit, is because I think it was 2022, they dropped from 365-day a year operations. We went in 2018.
It was the first year of 365-day operations.
Yeah, I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, and now they dropped it, so the operations... Yeah, it's not open 365, but it's still open year-round, just not every day.
I think they're open Friday, Saturday, Sundays, Mondays during, December, January, February, stuff like that.
Magic Mountain kind of has full operations as far as, coasters go, but they do have scheduled maintenance for some of the rides. Like when we went Goliath and Escape from Krypton were both closed. Everything else was open, but those two things are closed due to scheduled maintenance. So I think it's kind of a hit or miss. You might be able to ride everything, probably not. So,
but they have so many coasters, even if one or two are closed.
20 coasters there, most in the world. So
So even if one or two are closed, you're fine.
It's perfectly fine.
All right, we are moving through this list. We're at number 4. What's number 4?
Number 4 is Knott's Berry Farm. We personally liked Knott's Berry Farm more than Magic Mountain, just in general, not even talk about operations and all that. But
because operations bad at Knott's Berry Farm.
But as far as ride dispatches and stuff goes, Knott's Berry Farm is a fantastic park.
It's a theme park.
It's a theme park. They have really good theming for a Cedar Fair park. You have the ghost town area and stuff. So, and full operations. Everything is open.
Well, they do have their scheduled maintenance.
They do have scheduled maintenance.
A lot of 365-day-a-year parks will have scheduled maintenance.
They need to work on their coasters at some point.
Unless you're one of the big major parks that can afford multiple trains, so they can take a couple trains off and fix them, and then keep cycling through multiple trains and stuff like that. Because the maintenance is mostly just due to the trains. You gotta check the wheels, you gotta check all the welds and the bolts, and you gotta check everything and make sure everything's all good to go. As far as testing the track structure and that, they do that on a daily basis. But when we went to Knott's Berry Farm in 2018, what was closed? Accelerator was closed.
And I think that is still closed, if I'm not mistaken, because it is an intimate accelerator coaster, and that stuff happens. Is it getting LSMs and a spike?
Probably not.
Probably not. But yeah, every that and Hang Time wasn't built yet when we went, so we couldn't ride that.
It was being built. I think it was still I think it opened in June that year, so we were a few
months. Ghost Rider was my favorite coaster in all of California, and we did have to wait a while for it because the operations of that coaster are not that good, but still, amazing ride, amazing park. Definitely go there.
Okay, we are getting into our top 3. Number 3, Busch Gardens Tampa. I think because of Iron Gwazi. If it wasn't for Iron Gwazi, this would be much lower on the list.
Busch Gardens Tampa is a really, really nice park, and they have some really, really good... It's a very well-rounded park, because, especially with Iron Gwazi, they had all these good coasters before, but then they got Iron Gwazi, And that just was the standout coaster because Iron Gwazi is absolutely amazing. We love it. One of our favorite coasters.
And they're open, full operations. When we went there, Iron Gwazi was no coasters were down.
Mm-hmm. And we went in February, if I'm not mistaken.
Maybe.
Sometime around then. So right in the winter, and everything was open. Everything was normal.
And they run 7 days a week all year round. So those Florida parks are very good for that. And that is why, number 2, we are sticking down in Florida. We are going with Disney Orlando. And like we said, this is Epcot, this is Animal Kingdom, this is Hollywood Studios, and this is Magic Kingdom. This is all of them combined.
Yeah, we've technically driven through Disney. We
saw arches that said Disney.
Yeah, I think I saw Everest and stuff like that. But we didn't actually go.
No.
But Disney, I think you know about Disney. You know about it. It's a destination parks, absolutely.
Roller coasters, now they're building, like with Tron and that.
Yeah, they got Tron.
More.
The Guardians of the Galaxy is like, people love that coaster.
Yeah,
that's supposed to be really good.
Adding more and more coasters, the theming, just everything, the whole experience. Because when you go to Disney, you're going for the entire experience. And that is obviously open 365 days a year. They don't take any time off. And you get full operations. They got all the money in the world to keep everything open.
Absolutely.
All year round. So Disney has to be number 2.
But number 1, maybe my favorite park that I've been to.
Oh.
Possibly. One of my favorites.
Did Cedar Point turn into year round? I didn't know that.
It is not Cedar Point. Oh. It is not anything else. It is Universal Studios Orlando.
I like that park. That was a good park. And we're combining Universal Studios and Islands of Adventure, just like we combine all the Disney.
Yeah, because Disney, if we're gonna combine it, we gotta do it with Universal too. Universal's only 2 park, Islands of Adventure and Universal Studios. Both are amazing. Definitely get the Park Hopper pass if you're there, because you can take like Hogwarts Express from both parks, which is amazing.
It's a train that mimics one of the Harry Potter.
It mimics Hogwarts Express. And
not everyone watches Harry Potter. I've never seen Harry Potter.
That's what I said. You could take Hogwarts Express, and it is really, really nice. I love Universal and Islands of Adventure, especially since they got Velocicoaster, which is one of the best coasters that we've ever ridden.
Love it. It's my number 2 coaster overall. And they're a park that has all the money in the world to keep everything open.
Yeah, so you do not have to worry about anything. Obviously, stuff breaks down, so we're not saying that nothing's going to just break down, but any scheduled operations, any scheduled closures is not going to happen.
Yeah, so that is why Universal Studios, it's a total... It's got theming like Disney. It's got amazing theming.
It's got amazing
and then
theming.
It's got amazing coasters like a thrill park.
Yeah, because Disney doesn't really have coasters. They have some coasters, but they aren't that good. Universal has Velocicoaster, Rip Ride Rocket, Hagrid's, Hulk. Even though it sucks, it is still there if you want to ride it.
So that is it for this list. Hope it helps you out, because if you live in Florida or California, then this doesn't really matter to you, because you live in a 365-day-a-year coaster community.
Yeah, but if you don't live...
If you don't live in one of these areas, one of those 2 areas...
Hopefully this helps you. Like we said, this isn't the list of our favorite parks. It's just the best parks to visit in the winter. And this is what we came up with.
All right, so that is it for this video. If you found it helpful, then go down and give it a like. And if you're not already a subscriber, you know what to do. Subscribe to this channel. Helps us so much. And if you want to go one step above subscribing, you can be like one of these fine people right here. They joined our channel membership page, and if you want to, you can go and check it out down in the description. There's a link, and you get things like exclusive videos,
exclusive shout-outs, exclusive pictures, a ton of stuff, and they help us out a ton. Go check it out.
We appreciate them a bunch. So that's it for this video. We'll see you guys right here next time on Beach Cliff Studios.